Hey there, Tad Hargrave from Marketing for Hippies. Today's video is about the difference between giving away your content and giving away your time. It's been a while since I did a video, been busy, but somebody in my mentorship program sent me a question. She said, I'm being interviewed for some kind of summit or event, and kind of how do I get something from it? Because if I just give away my content, do a Q&A, then what do I get from it? So, and this lifts up a bigger question that people often have, which is, how much do you give away for free? How much content do you give away for free? Important question, because certainly a lot of people in the life coaching, healing scene tend to be overgivers, tend to charge less than actually is going to sustain them. Give. Is it a win for you? Great. It doesn't matter if I lose, if it's a win for you, that kind of thing. So here's my thought. I would just make the distinction between giving away information and giving away time. I think giving away information, you can do all day long, and it's great. Giving away your time is a very different story. So, if I'm being interviewed, I don't hold anything back. There's no secret good stuff that's there for the paying. There's no, I don't see a reason to hold that back. Because of course, if you give away the content, what happens is people get very impressed and intrigued. They say, oh, this is interesting. And then they think, how do I translate that to my own business? And if you look on my YouTube, under my playlists, you'll see I've got a few playlists on niching. Nice mural, hey? I've got a few playlists about niching with dozens of videos. There's hours of content. Then I've got a website, nichingspiral.com, which has, let's say at least 100 pages and free articles, I would guess, etc., etc., etc. I give away a ton of free stuff on niching. I've got an ebook that's just $20. Which gives away most of my thoughts on niching. And so you can give away the information, and that's fine. You can give away the content and the context, but people are still, in fact, the more they know, the more they're going to want to figure out, how do I implement or translate this into my own life, into my own situation. I do these puttering sessions, these hour-long, one-on-one sessions. And those sessions are almost all about niching. I would say easily 95% of them we're talking about niching. That's why they're calling me. So, it's not that I haven't given away free stuff. It's in fact that they've watched that stuff and read that stuff, been compelled by it, seen the examples of what clear niches look like, and think, oh my God, that makes so much sense to me, but wait, how does that work in my life? How do I translate that? How do I, what is the version for me of this? What would my niche be? I was talking with somebody in a puttering session the other day, and he helps people, specifically people who've done the spiritual work, the kind of oneness, unity, sort of based spiritual work, and they've done that for years, maybe decades, and now they're wanting to make a difference in the world. Their attention is really shifting. There's a yearning to do something that have a bigger impact in the world, and help other people heal as well. And I was telling him, I said, what I would do, because he and I are talking this Thursday, is I said, just collect all the examples of inspiring projects that when you look at it, you're like, oh my God, it's amazing. And just keep sharing those with people. Share the projects. Share people. Here's what's inspiring to me. And people will see those projects. I said, your ideal clients will see those projects and they'll be just all over it. They're going to be so in love with the projects, but then they'll be thinking, wait, what is that for me? What would be the project I'd create? I don't know. I could really use some help. So actually, the more of our context and point of view we give away, so this gets down to the point of view marketing, the more of our point of view we give away, the more of the people realize there's a place that they need help that they may not have realized before. So another example of this, woman Tammy Johnston in Calgary runs a business called The Financial Guides, and I don't know if she still does it, but for years she had a day-long workshop called Financial Journeys, and she would help people. In this day, it was just content. She gave people a binder, thick and full of resources, and she would help people see all of the elements that they were unaware of or ignorant of or naive about in finances that were very important, things they'd probably been missing. So they would see those things, and at the end of the day, she said, 70-80% of them wanted to hire her. Wait, she just spent a whole day telling them everything she knew. Why would they hire her at that point? Well, 10% of people are DIYers, and they'll just grab your content and do whatever, and that's great. Most people are not like that. I knew a person who he did videography for nonprofits, and of course fundraising videos. That's one of the main things that they want to help with. And I said what I would do is I would do a workshop teaching nonprofits how they can make a fundraising video with an iPhone on their laptop. And I said, teach them everything. Show them all the tricks. Teach them the whole thing. Because at the end of it, 10% of them will say, that's great, we're going to go make our own fundraising video with everything you taught us. 90% of them will say, oh my God, I didn't realize how involved it was. I didn't realize how many parts there were to making a video that really works. I can see if we tried to do this on our own without this, the video would not have been good. It would have been a waste of time, and they'll want to hire him. I mean, I could give example after example. I do a day-long workshop, Marketing for Hippies 101. I give it all away. I'm really not trying to hold anything back. There's nothing where I'm thinking, okay, once they pay me, I'll tell them this. There's no elite content. But I suppose if there is the gold level for me is not that there's new content, it's that there's more of my personal time. And so giving away your content, great. I mean, in my opinion, give it all away. Or put it in eBooks and charge for it, but or online courses and charge for it. But if you're being interviewed, I don't know if there's anything to hold back. Other than sometimes you say, look, this is a half-hour interview. We actually don't have time to get into that, but I can sort of tease it. I can give the broad strokes overview just because logistics. I can't talk fast enough, or it wouldn't do any service to this topic if I were to try to cram it all in. So let me come at it this way instead. There's that, but that's more of a time consideration than a propriety, and only my ideal clients are going to get the content. Because let's face it, we live in an era of YouTube and the internet. People can find info for free all the time. And what that's, I think, put us in a position of is we're drowning in information, but how to apply that information and where, and why am I stuck in even trying to apply the information? That's where they need help. Got a moving truck going by. So, to recap, giving away content, beautiful. Just sharing it all, great. Giving away your time, I'd reconsider that. Or just know that's a different beast. Because that's where the real overgiving happens in my mind. It's not the writing lengthy blog posts and doing videos like this where you're sharing your point of view. It's that people say, hey, can I have 5 minutes of your time? Oh, sure. And of course that 5 minutes turns into 15 minutes. Or doing the, hey, let's do a sample session. And you're talking with somebody and they're not a fit. It's not going to be a good match. And yet still you do a free hour with them. Or you do a workshop and you just keep letting them go over time. You don't take a lunch break because people need help, etc., etc. You see what I'm saying? Overgiving time, your personal time, will kill a business. Overgiving, I don't even want to call it overgiving. Being generous and sharing your point of view will grow your business. So let me say that again. Giving too much of your time is like a leak in the tub, and eventually that tub will be dry, no matter how much water you're pouring in. But being generous in sharing your understanding of why they're struggling, why it's so hard, what are the most important elements to consider, what are the core principles, what are the steps. You being generous in sharing that will simultaneously build trust, help them figure out if your point of view is a fit for them, and also it will induce a kind of reciprocity where they want to give back and support you for supporting them. It will just help them get to know you, so that you don't have to sell them. I just don't try to sell anybody. I'm not trying to convince anyone. Why? Because they're already convinced or not. They've already checked out my information usually, and they like it or they don't. And if they do, then they just call and they want to book the time, which saves me time again. So you see the trouble here. If you overgive the time, now you have less time. But if you're generous with your point of view, well, now this is a one-to-many situation. It's a video that you do once, like this video, and then it's on the internet. People can watch it while you sleep. You write an article and it's just up there forever. People can read it while you sleep. So this saves you time. You're not trying to re-explain it to everyone every time. And then it also saves you time because you don't have to have the hassle of trying to convince people once they call you. They just call you and say, hey, I've been following your stuff for years. I really dig it. I'd like to work with you. So if you overgive on the time, you're dinged twice. One is the time you give away that you don't get paid for. Two is the time now convincing those same people to work with you. It's just a lose-lose-lose situation. Versus, I think if we're generous with our point of view, save time on the sharing, don't need to repeat it a million times, and we save time in the not having to sell people. Okay, I think I got it. Hopefully that's helpful for everyone. Hope you're doing well out there, and see you around.